Hey there, beer tubers, welcome back to Maxwell Stars Beer Review. Tonight we're going to take a look at a lager. We're going to take a look at a special lager. This is one that Heisselmighty brought me back from the little country of Iceland. Beautiful little country too. This is Thule export beer from pure Icelandic water. Thule. Yeah. What's English on here? Lots of Icelandic language, or Scandinavian, or whatever it is. It just basically says bira, beer, bjor, all beer, beer. Well, you know, there's not a lot more to say on this than it's just a plain, pale lager from Iceland. But saying that it's brewed with Icelandic water, pure Icelandic water, makes me think of like glaciers and fjords, and it's probably pretty damn clean. So that's the thought anyway. Be kind of cool if it was like the Iceland version of like iceberg lager from Quiddy Viddy or something in Newfoundland. So let's crack this open and take a look. I'm kind of excited about this actually. I don't usually get excited for lagers. Does it even say what the ABV is? No. I'm gonna. Oh, it says 5%. Alcoholinahald. 5% AF Rumali. 330 milliliter. Ingredients: pure Icelandic water, malt, maize, sugar, and hops. So that takes it down a peg right there. I mean, pure Icelandic water is cool, but malt, corn, sugar, like straight up cane sugar or something. Alcohol content is 5% ABV by volume, which is your standard fare. So let's pour it. Lager is as lager does. Look how clear that is. That's straw yellow. Very clear. Actually, there's a little impressive right there. They say pure Icelandic water. Well, you expect something really super clean, super clear, and very, very, very filtered. I actually see sediment in there. I see, if you look very closely, you can actually see stuff floating around in there. And I actually like that. Because it means that it's not super filtered and not all the good stuff is taken out of it. Very pure white head. Like, that's bleached white. It looks like a lager, but it's actually a very pretty looking lager. I mean, if you got to drink a pure lager, that's actually... that's how I would want a pale lager to look. A little bit of sediment, lots of carbonation, pure white head that actually seems to be sticking around. Look, I still have a finger on it, a finger head on it, even though I've been talking for a bit. And a straw yellow appearance. That looks really nice. Let's give it a sniff. Yeah, so a little bit of slightly vegetable, sweet, little touch bready yeast, white bread, very white bread, slightly yeasty, bit grassy from the herbal hops. Did it even say it uses hops? I don't know if it did. Where's that ingredients list in English? Well, this is hops right at the very end. That's actually kind of impressive. I still have head. I mean, it smells like a lager. I mean, it really smells like like Budweiser, like Moosehead, or maybe not like Moosehead. Moosehead's got quite a bit more pronounced hop aroma. It smells like your standard pale lager. So, par for the course. Doesn't smell super adjuncty. So put it in the hatch. Cheers. Ooh. So I get the earthy herbal hops, mostly herbal hops, lingering in the very back. I get this very light, slightly caramel, not necessarily corny, but maybe a tad vegetable broth. Sweetness that sits in the middle of the beer. But for the most part, around the mouth, I get this just feeling of carbonation, a very soft water, and then it disappears into a very, very clean finish. Wow, actually that's really good. See, it's not, the taste is a decent lager. The look is actually quite beautiful for a lager, but let's just say that it looks like your standard lager. It tastes like your standard lager. The biggest thing I love about this is the finish. The finish on it is super clean and super drying. It just like disappears in your mouth. That is a super refreshing beer. It's actually really good. I mean, it's not like miracle worker or anything, but as far as in like a pale, like American style pale adjunct lager, it's the water. It's got to be the water. And you know what? I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit hokum. I was like, yeah, what's so different about this pure Icelandic water? I know that there's a lot of ice. It's Iceland after all. But it's got to be the quality and the condition of the water where it's very soft and a very dry beer. And because I love the feeling of that dry finish, that disappearing act that this thing performs, I'm drinking this right down. I had to save some for the photo after this because this is actually quite good. Now, it's a pale lager, don't get me wrong. I mean, don't go into this being expecting something else. But if you were to give it, say if somebody was to set this down next to a can of Budweiser, next to a can of Coors or something like that, I would pick this anytime. It's nice and light for a lager, and the finish is super clean. That is like Windex clean, man. That is nice. And I don't mean to like upsell this beer. I just think the opinion the impression I get from this beer is really clean. And that in mind, it is just like the iceberg lager from Quidi Vidi. It's a lager. Don't upsell it for too much more than what it is. It's just a plain basic lager, but that clean finish is really nice. Wow. Okay, let's base this completely on the fact that it is a pale lager. I love it. It doesn't have very many off flavors. It doesn't have a super amount of flavor. It's just mainly like bready yeast. Like a little yeasty bread kind of aftertaste. A little earthy herbal hops. But it's the finish is the big seller on this one. I could drink cans on cans of this. I wish I could buy this here because this is something I would drink. Just to have for the sake of having a beer to drink. This is really nice and kicks the brio to the curb. The one I had that last night. I don't know if I've uploaded it yet at this point when you're watching this or not. I want to give it a 4 out of 5 just based on that finish alone. I love how that finishes. And that's a strong rating considering it is a pale lager, a plain pale lager. But that is one of the finest finishing lagers I've ever had. Wow. I'm probably a little out of my mind right now. It's just, I love the finish on this. Wow. Fuck it. 4 out of 5. It's not really, it's probably really not that great as far as ratings. And I'm probably going to regret saying 4 out of 5. But at the same time, it's the initial impression, it's the feeling that I get when I drink this beer is that it's super clean. And I love that. If you're looking for a spot-on refreshing beer when you're over in Iceland, this is actually a really good one to try. I mean, yeah, there's Iceland craft brewers over there. There's Oberschult Brewhouse, there's Borg Brewhouse, and they make some really interesting craft beer styles, like imperial stouts especially. But if you're looking just for a plain lager to drink with supper, spot on. Anyway, thanks for watching Maxwell Star's beer review of Thule from Iceland. From pure Icelandic water, and it definitely shows. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you folks later. Cheers.